I am here with Roxanne Hedquist, the clinical lead for Science and Humans. Science and Humans is our leading provider for Canada, and I am so excited to introduce you to them and get to know them along with you. Welcome, Roxanne. I'm so grateful you're here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to chat with you about this.
Well, we have promoted Science and Humans here for a little bit. And honestly, I'm going to be real honest. It was because it is literally the only telehealth provider I could find in Canada that was offering testosterone. And I just slapped it on there as fast as I could. And I just figured something is better than nothing. That's where I was at. But now is the time to really dive in. This has now been over almost 3 years now. And I feel like there are other options. And I have found out that we got lucky and found the best option. So now is the time to really get to know you and help other women feel very comfortable to call you and utilize your services. But I want to back way up. Roxanne, tell us about your experience of walking into perimenopause and how did you end up being a clinical lead for Science and Humans?
So my background is in functional medicine. I've been in functional medicine for about 10 years. And within the natural health industry, I tried a lot of different natural supplements and lifestyle changes and whatnot, worked with naturopaths, all of that, which was really beneficial, really helpful for getting sort of to the root cause of some of the different health issues you need to deal with. However, there was still a bit of a struggle there going through perimenopause. And I reached out to a local hormone platform where I was living at the time. And I had a consultation with them, went over some different options for hormones, started using progesterone to help regulate my cycles. And from there, I really got interested in really getting more education in hormones because I noticed a lot of my patients were asking for these incredibly important questions as well. So I took some certification courses in bioidentical hormones, and I ended up actually working for that company for a bit. And I took their longevity program. I was mentored by their doctor, and I worked with them for a while. And it made a huge difference for my own personal journey to actually learn about what was going on in my body so that I could supplement with hormones, along with doing those lifestyle changes and supplementation and taking care of my body's stress response and whatnot. And it was amazing. And I continued to educate myself. I took a lot of different courses and programs and upgrades. And then along the way, I discovered the beautiful website that is Science and Humans. And I was so intrigued by them because I noticed that they had a bit of a different approach. It was more of a holistic, functional medicine based approach. And I really loved that. So I actually went after them and I was like, I really want to work for you. We talked about my experience as a functional medicine practitioner and as a bioidentical hormone specialist. And I ended up starting to work with them as their clinical lead. And the big thing with Science and Humans was that I was so excited, like I said, about that functional medicine side, where their medical director, Dr. Christy Prouse, she trains all of the nurse practitioners, and I took her training and was certified as well in the same program to really look at you from a healing pyramid type view, right? So really looking at foundational root cause, working on those so that your body can really use the hormones effectively. So if you take hormones and the other part, the foundational parts of your health are not being dealt with, then the hormones aren't going to work as well. So that was amazing for my own life as well, to increase my knowledge, to be able to implement a lot of these things with my own private practice patients, as well as really support Science and Humans patients. That was the biggest thing for me, to be able to work with them, to be able to work with the nurse practitioners and really encourage and grow the functional medicine part of the program, and really help to train the nurse practitioners to convey to the patients that connection of we need to really make sure that your body foundationally is healthy, so that these hormones are an added supplement to really add value to your life, so that you can have all those benefits, those health benefits that come with having balanced hormones.
Oh, it's so good. It's so interesting to me because when I started hormone therapy, I went to a local clinic and they immediately gave me testosterone and progesterone. I felt a million times better just over the first week, honestly. And over the course of the next few years, I mean, it changed my life. It saved my life. But what I found was there is a whole nother level of health for women, more than just passing out the hormones. Even though the hormones changed my life and built this, beautiful movement, I, like you, I wanted to know more. I wanted to know gut health. I wanted to know skin health. I wanted to understand what was going on with my liver. I wanted to understand what was going on, just with my adrenal glands and everything, so that my bones didn't break. So, I was putting in the right nutrients. And that's why it's so exciting to me to find places like Science and Humans where they're not just, okay, here's your progesterone, here's your testosterone. They are looking at the whole picture. And it is because of clinical leads like you that are talking to the physicians, making sure everybody is on the same page, they're up to date on the latest and greatest research, and that we are able to convey that in a way that helps someone feel heard. And seen. Just off the bat, I know that, when women, I mean, there's a button right underneath this video, it says book your consult. And when women do that, they can either immediately get their blood work done, or they can talk to one of your coaches. What do you refer to them as? A coach?
We refer to them as health coaches.
A health coach. Great. Yeah. And you can talk to them for, 15, 20 minutes to try to kind of understand exactly what direction to go in, if this is a good fit for you. But what's really impressive is after you've done the blood work, that consultation after that, where they're reviewing your blood work, how long do your physicians typically spend with a new patient going over that initial blood work?
So the initial, as we refer to it, BHRT, initial appointments, you're booked in for 45 minutes. And that gives you lots of time. They go over your medical history, what your goals are, what your symptoms are, what's happening with you. And then they go through your blood work with you in detail. And they will talk about what potential hormones could work. They'll explain to you what's happening in your body with your hormones, what's not balanced, what needs a little tweak here or there. And then also from both the conversation and your blood work, they will give you feedback on different functional medicine, holistic practices, supplements, whatnot. They'll let you know that they're going to send you a handout. They'll talk to you about a few things. And the other thing too is if you feel the need that you want that conversation expanded, that functional medicine side, you are more than welcome to, and oftentimes the nurse practitioners will offer it. You can book in with myself for a complimentary 30-minute chat, and I can build you a more individualized plan. I can go over your current plan, see if we need to make tweaks or changes. That's something extra that we can offer. We have lots of different handouts that are detailed information, and we really support you in that if that's something that's really important to you.
It's amazing. I don't think I ever realized that when I would go to a typical doctor, it would be like 10 minutes. And of course, we don't feel taken care of because they can't even get to know you. They don't remember you. They're just basically regurgitating what you just told the assistant that came in and asked the same damn questions, right? Yeah. And then they leave and they know nothing. I mean, I remember walking out of one of my appointments just thinking, she doesn't even know if I eat like a whole pizza by myself every day, plus a whole box of donuts. Like, not that I was, but I'm like, if I was though, she wouldn't know. And she's just like, you look good, and I'm like, what are we doing? And I love when women get their blood work done and it's that review after the blood work. I get so many emails and so many DMs of women saying, oh my gosh, I just feel like I'm not even on medication yet, and I feel hope. I feel better because I know I'm not crazy. So to back up for a second, when you start with Science and Humans, when you initially book that first thing, it's just $1, right? It's just $1 to talk to someone, to get your blood work done. And then it's $200 for that initial, the blood work and the consultation. And then from there, you're able to prescribe what women need. And tell me, what is the typical time frame? Because I know women are like, want their medications in the mail yesterday, right? Yeah. So typically, what's your time frame from a woman having her labs reviewed till the product or the medications are at her doorstep? What's that typical time frame for you?
So the time frame for the pharmacy, we do use a virtual pharmacy. It's called Pocket Pills. It's usually anywhere from 5 to 10 days until it depends on where you live, right? They ship it out. So they get the prescription from our nurse practitioners, they contact you, they set up a profile, they get your benefits information. You can speed up that process by downloading their app. They have a Pocket Pills app, and they can do that. And yeah, it's usually anywhere from 5 to 10 business days that you will have those products shipped to your door.
Amazing. That's very typical. And I love being able to tell women like what that average is, because sometimes there are some hiccups. Like we'll get this massive wave of women hearing about hormone therapy and running out for it. And then it like bogs down this whole system. And it usually is across the board. So, but if women know that that's your typical time frame, then they'll know if something's like out of sorts. And then once I'm starting, let's say I'm assuming you do testosterone injections, right? You do injections and creams.
We actually, we start with testosterone cream. Injections are a little trickier. Our medical director prefers that we start with cream. And once we've titrated or increased the dosage, and if you're not getting the results that you need, then a testosterone injection will be the next step. But we like to try that because you can have some very unwanted side effects from testosterone. So oftentimes if you go right into an injection, you can end up with those side effects, and you don't have the ability to stop the cream because the injection is in your body, right? So we like to go, we're low and slow. That's how we are. We like to go really careful because hormone receptors are very sensitive. So we like to be careful so that we don't overwhelm your system and you end up having side effects you didn't want. We're trying to eliminate the side effects, the symptoms you're having right now.
And I love that practitioners like you, your Science and Humans, talk about the symptoms, because I feel like women are just not trusted and they're not listened to. And I love that you refer back to the symptoms, because if you were talking to a woman and like, I feel really good right here, and maybe those numbers are a little bit higher than your typical person, but she feels good, then maybe that's just where she feels good. And I love the allowance of women being able to feel good where they feel good. Let's say that, one of the patients has started into some of these new things and she's just feeling a little, maybe she's like, it's not working fast enough, or she gets a little rash or something where that cream is, or whatever it is, right? She has questions. How accessible are you? How do people get in contact with you for like follow-up information or side effects within that first couple of weeks?
So we have a really amazing support team. They're medical associates, and there's a phone number that you'll be provided. There's also an email. You can email them at support@scienceandhumans.com, and a fantastic team. They will answer you. I think says within 24 hours. They'll get back to you. They'll relate any questions to your nurse practitioner and get you feedback. If you're having some really intense symptoms, side effects, something like that, they will book you in for a free 15-minute symptom check appointment. If you are having, like a rash or whatnot, you can definitely reach out to us and let us know. You can also contact Pocket Pills and talk to them as well. because typically it's whatever that base cream is, you might be allergic to it. But yeah, our support team is great. Like I said, phone number, email. Science and Humans has a really great support system in place, and we get back to you like as soon as we can, and we address whatever you need. So dial that phone and leave a voicemail or send an email, and we will get back to you, and we will do whatever we need to do to get you the answers that you need.
That's so fantastic. I feel like, my daughter just went into surgery last week, and I'm like, I don't know who to call to follow up. Like, it feels so vague in the system sometimes. You're like, how do I even get a hold of the surgeon? Like, am I even ever going to be able to talk to him again? And it just feels so safe, and women can feel so taken care of in this type of healthcare system with Science and Humans and the other providers we talk about, because you're accessible. And we are not used to that. We think we're going to get nickel and dimed. We think we're going to get a bill for every time we pick up the phone. And it's just not true. Like, you really are here to help women until they feel good and walk them through the entire process. And I love the transparency in the pricing, in the service, the accessibility that you offer, and just the complete care, because it is being run by women like you that have felt it, that have gone through it. Tell me, what is the most exciting thing for you working in this industry, watching what this is doing for women? Tell me about that side of it.
Well, for me, it's really exciting because I know that women are incredibly underserved in this industry. We hear every day the stories of how their doctor is just ignoring them, offering them antidepressants, telling them this is normal, you're getting old, deal with it. So for me, it's really exciting that Science and Humans is on the cutting edge. In the background, they're continuously upgrading, learning, pushing forward with new and exciting ways for longevity and hormonal health, ways that we can support women. It's super exciting, and we're growing and learning together and improving this platform all the time. Like, the sky's the limit, really, with Science and Humans. What we are able to do and offer, obviously within the regulations of Health Canada, we offer them to you, and we will not we'll never stop growing and learning and offering the latest science to improve your life.
It's such a thrill to be on almost like a front row seat to watch this awakening and this new information, and watch women get it and realize, like, oh my gosh, I'm not crazy. I don't have to suffer like my mom did. There is help available. It just wasn't built into our regular system. We have to go outside of that system to find it. And now women are finding it. And I think we're really walking in to kind of this crazy new existence for women. I think in 20, 30 years, we're really going to see a massive decline in women going into memory care facilities. We're going to see women vacationing and functioning and, less hunched over and crippled. We're going to be able to remember our kids' names and have muscle and be able to keep the keys to our car and get off the toilet ourselves. And that is going to be a new world. And it's really exciting to watch women take back their health and take back their lives, and just kind of, make a line in the sand and say, like, we're not doing this anymore. It's really, really exciting. Now, if people want to work with Science and Humans, just go ahead and click the button at the bottom. If you are listening to this through YouTube, just go ahead and go to wakeherup.co, go to the directory, click on Science and Humans. Always use the code Wake Her Up. We're always going to have some kind of special discount that you're part of this Wake Her Up club, and always use the code Wake Her Up to see what the current special is that you can be part of. And I just want to highly encourage women to click the button, take back control of your life. You shouldn't have to go and educate your doctor on how to care for you. I mean, Roxanne, I get so many women saying, what blood work do I need to tell my doctor to get for me? And I'm like, if you have to do that, you are with the wrong doctor.
Yes, because that doctor is not going to know how to interpret it.
No, do not do that.
No.
Go to someone like Science and Humans where they're like, this is your blood work. Go get it. And then they know what to do with it.
Yeah.
I don't think we touched on this, but it's pretty typical across the board. When people schedule blood work, you're not going to a Science and Humans facility. You're going to like a lab in your area that's closest to you, right? To get your blood work done.
Yeah. Provincial lab. Yeah.
Okay. And then I have to also say, like, just a side note, I am amazed, and I love that you mentioned that you can call the pharmacy. I walk into a local compound pharmacy to pick up my progesterone, and talking to that pharmacist has given me more information than anything else. And so for you to mention that is accessible to your patients is so above and beyond. And it's such good information. And I think women just don't even like think about that. We just think, doctor, that's it. That's the information. But talk to the pharmacy. They are so well educated in what you're actually putting in your body. It's amazing.
So true. So true.
Well, you are a joy, and it's so good to get to know you.
Thank you.
What would you say to the woman that's like, she's been watching all this stuff, she's reading all the books, she's like, doesn't really know where to start, she wants to feel good, but honestly, she can hardly get herself out of bed? What would you say to her?
I would encourage her to sign up with Science and Humans, because you want someone who's going to look after you from a whole body approach, not just a Band-Aid, not just a prescription like you may or may not get from your doctor. You want to be with practitioners who are highly trained and certified in a high level of hormone therapy by an incredible triple board OB/GYN functional medicine practitioner. They have an incredible amount of education and knowledge, and we're constantly updating and educating them on a higher level all the time. So you will be getting that whole body approach. If you have questions or anything at any time, always reach out to us. We're always here for you to explain the process or help you with whatever you need. We are here to support you. And we also will reach out to you when you are about 6 weeks into your treatment. We'll ask how you're doing. If you need any advice, you can book in again to chat with a health coach to talk about anything, but also you can always reach out to support. So there's a lot of support available to you. And I would encourage you to not only come on board and experience that whole body approach, but also take advantage of our support system that's available to you.
Amazing. Roxanne, thank you so much for your time. And thank you for introducing us to Science and Humans. And thank you for all of the education that you went and got out for yourself personally so that you could be here doing this. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. I know you have patients to get to and people to go help feel good. So thanks so much. Everyone, go check them out and book your consult today. Bye.